So this is basically my living room, and you'll notice I have the Jurassic Park toys up on top there. Some random spooky shit, picture from Ghostbusters Fan Fest, some other retro shit, an Alf autograph, and a bunch of fucking DVDs. Now I'm not going to name off every one of these things, but you can pretty much see what's here, and obviously it's all alphabetized as opposed to genres, which might trigger some people, but it's really just easier considering the amount of movies I have right now. There's a lot of classics in my collection, a lot of 90s stuff, you know, Anaconda, Armageddon, The Arrival. A lot of these still have the used DVD stickers on them just because I'm lazy, and some of them are a bitch to peel off. But here's a little classic for you. Peter Jackson's Bad Taste. I like to collect a lot of weird DVDs and stuff that's a little bit harder to find when it comes to physical copies or streaming. So, of course, the Batman stuff, Basketball Diaries, Basketball. So you'll notice my Blu-rays and DVDs are mixed together. Again, may trigger some people. I used to keep them separately, but at some point it was just like, fuck it, I'll just mix them together. Lots of interesting things. You know, like, I'm a big David Lynch fan, so I have a lot of his movies, Blue Velvet being one of the best ones. I also have an extraordinary Bill Murray collection, and when you have over, what? Last count was 850 something movies. There's guaranteed to be at least one or two you've bought and you just never watched. And for me, one of those is Broken Flowers with Bill Murray. It was 99 cents and I was like, it's Bill Murray, so I'm gonna buy that. Captain Ron, that's a classic for you. Caddyshack, of course. Cannonball Run, a little more obscure, at least when it comes to younger people. So, Chasing Amy, yeah, I'm big into the Kevin Smith movies. Got first 4 Cheech and Chong movies. First Children of the Corn. I haven't seen any of the ones past that. The Chucky collection. Clifford, that's another rare and or out of print, hard to find DVD. If you haven't seen this movie, you need to. It is amazing and terrible in all the right ways. Cool Runnings. Some John Candy for you from the childhood. Another good one. A little more unheard of, but not completely unheard of if you're in the right age crowd. Down here you got The Craft, which I haven't seen the sequel to, so don't own that, but Crash. Let's talk about Crash for a minute. There is a Crash that I haven't seen, but then there's this Crash by Cronenberg. This is a fucked up movie and you should definitely watch it if you want to see James Spader fuck Casey Jones or, you know, Elias Koteas. Because it's fucking hilarious. It's a very interesting movie, but about people who like to getting car crashed and fuck, basically. So obviously you probably can tell I'm a big horror fan, big cult movie fan, and usually when I get into a director I kind of try to see a lot of their shit, and if I like it I end up buying it. So I basically have most of Wes Anderson's movies, most of Tarantino's, a lot of Scorsese's. Devil is like a very not great movie, but you know, it's entertaining, so keeps me going. Deep Impact, Deep Red. There you go, there's a little bit of a deep cut for you. Next to Deep Blue Sea. Those are classic. Lots of weird stuff in here randomly mixed in, like Disturbia. I was just to the right age when that came out, so I enjoy that. Duplex, being directed by Danny DeVito, is, along with actually Death to Smoochy, I believe, is over here as well. Yeah, so we have that as well. Danny DeVito is a great director. You got Drawing Flies, a kind of rare movie, not very heard of, but stars Jason Lee, and Jason Mewes, and Renee Humphrey, and Carmen. Kevin Smith makes an appearance. They basically shot it with the same type of equipment as they shot Clerks with, and it's a pretty interesting movie, I'll tell you that. Drop Dead Fred, though. This, look at that fucking price tag. Because it's another rare and out-of-print one, but they did recently do it on Blu-ray, so that price is no longer really relevant. Let's see, what do we got? Elvira, that's pretty cool. Empire Records. El Mariachi. Enter the Dragon. Eraserhead. I'd like to think I have a pretty diverse film taste. But maybe not, I don't know. The Exorcist, Exorcist 3, I haven't watched yet. But it's because I feel like I should watch the second one first, even though it's kind of unrelated, and I've heard a lot about Exorcist 3 being good, so I'm going to check that out. The Faculty, another Robert Rodriguez movie. The first Fast and the Furious movie. That's it. Fast Times. Fear and Loathing, Fifth Element, Fight Club, you got some classic 90s there. Along with the first 3 Final Destinations. Fire in the Sky, it's a recent addition. Love that movie. If you like UFO movies, check it out if you haven't. Four Rooms is one of the lesser known Tarantino contributions. It's an anthology movie that he was a part of, so you should definitely check that out. Also had Robert Rodriguez and a couple other people. You gotta have some classic monster movies, so we got the original Frankenstein, I have the original Dracula, the original Mummy. I like a lot of these terrible fucking bad 90s movies, like Freddy Got Fingered. Like, that's just such a weird fucking movie, but I love having it in the collection. Every Friday the 13th movie except the remake. Fright Night, Frighteners, From Dusk Till Dawn, Full Metal Jacket. The Gamera movies, or Gamera, I don't know how people pronounce it. I've heard it both ways, but of course Ghostbusters. And yes, Ghostbusters answer the call. Ghost World and Ginger Snaps, some fucking solid movies, man. Goonies, The Graduate, Grand Budapest, some more Godzilla, lots of Godzilla. I need more Godzilla though. You ever have that feeling? Like you just need more Godzilla? GoldenEye, really the only James Bond movie I like to watch, probably just because of nostalgia. Goodfellas, Grandma's Boy, can't even tell what the fuck that is. Green Hornet, Green Room, the Gremlins movies, Grosse Point Blank. I'm just a huge John Cusack fan too, so, and that's a good one. Underrated, I think. Groundhog Day, classic, Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I have a lot of the Marvel movies you haven't noticed. I think I'm missing maybe 2 or 3 of them. I need the second Thor, and maybe the Ant-Man movies. I'm not sure. I really like the Ant-Man movies though. Half-Baked, the OG Halloween, 2, 3, the reboot, some of the collection. Halloween Town, there you go. It's a classic I got this year. Halloween Town 2 was with it. I don't really remember that one as much, but somebody just walked by the window and gave me a really weird look. I don't know how to react to that. Got Happy Gilmore, the Harold and Kumar movies, Harry and the Hendersons, there you go. Hateful Eight, Heat. There's another one that not a lot of people in our age range have seen, but I recommend it. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer. Classic 90s crime movie, really well done. Heathers, Hellraiser, Heavyweights. You know what I'm talking about? That's the kind of shit you just need to have, if you're me, anyway. Same with like Hocus Pocus, Home Alone 2, and the 3, which is still in its shrink wrap, but when I was a kid, I actually really liked that one. And it was written still by John Hughes, so respect. Hot Fuzz, Edgar Wright's one of my favorite directors these days. Hot Rod, underrated one, but people who know it love it. Hot Tub Time Machine, and Hot Tub Time Machine 2. That is a very bad movie. Idiocracy, there's a classic. And Idle Hands, you know what I'm talking about? Alright, over here we got the Independence Day movies, Inglourious Bastards, Inland Empire, some David Lynch, man. Interview with a Vampire, again, people our age need to see that, younger than us. In the Army Now, I'm a huge Pauly Shore fan, so I pretty much own all of his movies. Casino Man, you know. Son-in-Law, all the good stuff. The Invisible Man remake, which is a fucking great movie. The Canadian releases of Iron Man 2 and 3. I can't remember, I think I bought those off Amazon and they were just cheaper. Packaged together. the It movies. It follows Jack, Robin Williams movie. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. Jackie Brown, the Jay and Silent Bob movies, all the Jaws movies, Jennifer's Body, another fucking classic. Just like only recently finding its real audience, I feel like, too. The Jurassic World movies, Jurassic Park movies, Juno, Karate Kid. What else you got over here? King Kong, that's the 70s King Kong. Kingpin, Kong Skull Island, Kung Pao. There's another one for you. Just underrated, like. This guy basically inserted himself into this movie, if you remember this movie. I shot a lot of new stuff too, but is the director of the Ace Ventura movies. There's The Labyrinth, of course, Lake Placid. I'm a big fan of these cheesy 90s monsters movies, that Anaconda and Deep Blue Sea and stuff. Let's see, moving down, we've got Leprechaun, Less Than Zero. Less Than Zero is really underrated as well. Andrew McCarthy, Jamie Gertz, Robert Downey Jr., and James Spader's in that as well. Life Aquatic. I do have a couple Criterion Collection DVDs or Blu-rays, but not a lot. I think I have that and Rushmore for Wes Anderson. I guess I have Royal Tenenbaums, but it's a DVD as well. Little Miss Sunshine, that's another really good one people should check out. Little Monsters, Logan's Run, Look Who's Talking. Like, I think everybody forgot this movie just existed because Kirstie Alley and John Travolta, Bruce Willis voicing a baby. It's some weird shit, but I enjoy it. I have two of the Lost Boys movies. Of course, the original. Which one is this? The Tribe. Well, I need to get The Thirst, because The Tribe is trifling garbage. That's what they should have called it, The Trifling Garbage. Lost Highway. One of my favorite David Lynch movies, Lost in Translation. Looper. Everybody hates Rian Johnson, but Rian Johnson did that movie, and it's pretty cool. It takes place in Kansas City, so... the Mad Max movies. Major Payne. I actually do have Beyond the Thunderdome, but it's in like a DVD set that has Road Warrior with it, so it's just not up here. But Mallrats, Manhattan. I do have some Woody Allen, even though he's a problematic fucking dude. Haven't watched those movies in a while, but that's probably one I could get rid of in the collection. Annie Hall's the only one that I'd probably rewatch. The Maniac movies. Those are pretty dope. Melancholia, which is probably my favorite Lars von Trier movie. I'm not big into some of his stuff, so. Mom and Dad Save the World. There's another classic for you. HBO movie. From the 90s. It's fucking weird, man. Go check that shit out. Mulholland Drive, the Mummy movies. Nailbiters, a local film. Naked Lunch. Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist is a pretty cool movie. Again, I think not enough people just didn't see that, I don't think. Neverending Storyer, Napoleon Dynamite, Night of the Creeps, Night of the Living Dead, the original, Night of the Living Dead, the remake, Nightmare on Elm Street box set from the fucking like early 2000s, whenever they released that thing. I have a lot of old DVDs, so yeah, especially those in that style of the box, you know, that has the clip on it, like the Scooby-Doo one, where it's, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, the Coen Brothers, that's another one we kind of slid over earlier. We have a lot of Coen Brothers movies, starting with Blood Simple and Raising Arizona, Big Lebowski,
These are my dinner guests, Frog Brothers.
Office Space, pretty classic Mike Judge stuff. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Perfect Storm is pretty fucking perfectly cheesy, but I enjoy it. I like those kind of 90s movies like that. I mean, that's nowhere near as good as Twister, but like kind of fits in with that kind of group of movies. It's semi like weather disaster and stuff like that, I guess. Pirate Radio, Pineapple Express, the Piranha movies, two of them anyway. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Point Break. That is my copy of Pokemon, the first movie from my childhood too. As the old DVD style case. Pretty funny stuff. You got Poltergeist up there. Prom Night, Pretty in Pink, Princess Bride. The original producers, the remake. I'm a big Mel Brooks person too, so. Pulp Fiction, again, more Tarantino, Punch Drunk Love, Purple Rain. I love the case on that, how it's purple. Psycho Gorman, that's a newer edition. pretty sweet. Rat Race, I think that's a remake of, basically a remake, anyway, of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. Just check both of those out if you haven't. Raising Arizona, Red Dawn, Red Planet, Reign Over Me, Legilus. First 3 Resident Evil movies. I can separate them enough from the stuff in my mind to enjoy them, but first 2 are really the only ones I really like. Revenge of the Nerds. Wow, that one's problematic too. River's Edge, another underrated movie people should definitely check out. Crispin Glover, Keanu Reeves, Dennis Hopper, Ione Skye, like it's pretty solid. And it's very Twin Peaksy. Road Trip, another like classic terrible movie that's just like sometimes in the mood for one of those. RoboCop, of course, classic. Gotta have The Room on Blu-ray too, right? Gotta have Royal Tenenbaums on DVD and The Room on Blu-ray, because something's wrong with me. The Rules of Attraction, that's another one that's like Less Than Zero, written by the same author the book is as Bret Easton Ellis. He wrote American Psycho and stuff. Sandlot, Rushmore, Santa Claus. The first 2 Saw movies, the only ones I really can stand. First one's brilliant. Scanners, some Cronenberg classic. Scarface, Brian De Palma, you know what I'm saying? Scrooge, See No Evil, Hear No Evil. It's another kind of underrated one with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. One of them's blind and one of them's deaf, and it's hilarious to see them interact together. Shaun of the Dead, one of my favorite movies ever. Now we're into the S's, which is, I think I have more S-titled movies than anything else. Shawshank Redemption, The Shining, Shock Treatment, which is a unofficial sequel, I guess. It has the same Brad and Janet from Rocky Horror. Signs, I love that movie, I don't care what anyone says. Sin City, Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2, Sons of the Lambs. The Simpsons movie, I think someone bought me that as a gift. And as you will see, it's still in its shrink wrap from like 10 years ago because I was never a Simpsons person. But I'm like, sure, I'll keep it. 16 Candles, Sixth Sense, SLC Punk, Sleepaway Camp. We got some more cult films, classic films. I love that. Both of those movies, actually. Very unknown Mike Myers movie, except, among people who were just of the right age when it came out. So I Married an Axe Murderer, Son-in-Law, Speed, some Spider-Man. Spree is a new movie that came out. I think you should check that out if you haven't. Stand By Me, another classic. Some of the Star Wars movies are missing. The reason I haven't rebought any Star Wars is because I'm just like, I need a good edition of them to buy. And I kind of just don't want to buy anything unless it has them untouched as well. Which I believe these are the DVDs. This is probably why Empire's missing, because someone fucking took it. Oh, and one of these is missing too, so great. But I do have the bonus disc, which is the important one, because that's Star Wars A New Hope without the extra features. So I assume that Return of the Jedi is the same way. I don't know why. Got both the discs for that one. Well, I don't know what happened to Empire Strikes Back, but it's a bummer because that's my favorite. Strange Brew, Stripes, Suicide Club's a weird fucking movie. You should check that out. It's Super 8, Super Bad, Super Troopers, Suspiria, Swingers. Tammy and the T-Rex and Tank Girl next to each other. Again, classics that everyone should see. I think that one's on Shudder. Tank Girl's on something too I saw the other day. If you haven't seen it, definitely a epic movie. Taxi Driver, who doesn't like Taxi Driver? Ninja Turtles movies, Teen Wolf, some Terminator movies, some Texas Chainsaw movies. Just the original, the remake, and Texas Chainsaw 2. That Thing You Do, another classic. Thank You for Smoking, They Live, Thing from Another World, and The Thing. 13 Ghosts. Some more Marvel. Top Gun, of course, Total Recall, Toxic Avenger. Gotta have some Trauma in your collection. Train Spotting, Trading Places, Toy Story, Tremors, Tropic Thunder, the Tron movies, True Romance, Tusk, Tucker and Dale, Twister, Urban Cowboy, the Vacation movies, Valley Girl with Nicolas Cage, Very Bad Things. Another one I think we should cover soon on the podcast, because I don't think they've seen it, but Christian Slater, Cameron Diaz, Jon Favreau's in that, Daniel Stern, a couple other people. Videodrome, another classic Cronenberg movie. I'm big into Cronenberg, so. Walk Hard, Walk the Line, War Games, The Warriors, Watchmen, Wayne's World. Lots of W movies too, man. Look at this shit. The Wedding Singer, Weird Science, Weekend at Bernie's 2. Wet Hot American Summer, What About Bob? Where the Wild Things Are, Wild at Heart, there you go. Wild Things. Willy Wonka, Wishmaster. God damn. Wolf of Wall Street. The World's End, the other Edgar Wright movie of the trilogy, the Cornetto trilogy there. X-Files, Fight the Future, the X-Men movies, some of them anyway. Almost all of them. That's kind of where this starts to teeter out in the Z section, XYZ. Zack and Miri, Zodiac, Zombieland. Only Z movies I have, interesting. But then there's sort of some, collections and stuff. So you got Sid and Nancy with Spinal Tap and what is that? Geostorm and Into the Storm. Those are pretty fucking awful movies. Uncle Buck and Great Outdoors. Those are great. The Mr. Bean movie, because that's a classic. Small Soldiers with Explorers, the Tom Hanks collection. And over here we've got some more of these sort of collections. We've got a Stephen King, a Mel Brooks, Alfred Hitchcock ones. This one has Hollow Man, Hostel, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and When a Stranger Calls. I only bought that for I Know What You Did Last Summer. But, hey, The International Spies, I believe that's the 3 Austin Powers movies in Spies Like Us. Police Academy, Drive-In Cult Classics, my Ghostbusters stuff, and, of course, Scooby-Doo. I have a huge Scooby-Doo collection, as you can see. I'm a big Scooby-Doo person. We got the original series, the first and second season, the third season, the Scooby-Doo movies, Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghosts, the 3 late 80s movies, Boo Brothers, Ghoul School, Reluctant Werewolf. I believe that's Zombieland and Alien Invaders, Cyber Chase, Witch's Ghost, the live action movies, and of course When He Meets Courage that came out recently. We covered that. You can't not have Twin Peaks and X-Files. They stopped putting these out, at least in the stores where I was buying the X-Files ones, so I just never got the rest. But the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series, Workaholics, some Wilford, some Dragon Ball Z, some South Park, some Saturday Night Live, just some old random shit. Three's Company, why not? And this is sort of the last section. This is just some more TV stuff. So you got All Real Monsters, all of that, all of Alf. A couple seasons of Aqua Teen, Arrested Development. You need to get the rest of Ash vs. Evil Dead, Batman the Animated Series, complete, Beavis and Butthead, at least what they've released. Clerks, the cartoon, Chappelle's Show, Cobra Kai, Cosmos, Courage the Cowardly Dog, and Daria. Some Ed, Edd and Eddy, Family Guy. Again, Family Guy I was big into when I was in my teens, 13, 14, 15, but those are the only two I kind of just held on to, as well as the Star Wars stuff. But Freaks and Geeks, one of my favorite shows. Fresh Prince, Incomplete, as well as How I Met Your Mother, Parks and Rec. So that's basically the DVD collection. Let me know if you have any questions about it, I guess, in the comments. If there's anything you think I'm missing that I need to get, hit me up, let me know. Like and subscribe. Do all the things.
These are my dinner guests, the Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers.